Hi there, I'm Mitchell Welsh. I'm 18 years old and I'm a second year history and philosophy student, and I'm running to be Queen Margaret Union President.
Thanks for coming in. So my first question is, what separates you from your competitor Mata, who currently holds a VP role and arguably knows the workings of the union better?
I would say it's a case of personality. I'm far more determined and tenacious than Mata. Every single event the QMU has been running, I've had some involvement in organising that event and decorating for that event. I'm in that building every single day of the week, well, except for on weekends. But it's a simple case of when the day is done, Mata leaves, but Mitchell, I am still there as long as possible to make sure that I know everything that's going on in the building and making sure I'm a part of it.
Okay, fair enough. Now on the QMU advert for the election, it states that you can quite beef up your CV with a management role. So are you just doing this to beef up your CV?
Not at all. I'm doing this out of a love for the building and a love for the people that use the building. I admit it's maybe a part of the PR I don't particularly agree with, because whilst it is good for a CV, I ran for board as a CSR simply because I loved doing what I was already doing, and I originally ran for board as a way of making friends and socialising within the university.
Okay. Now you mentioned the poor finances of the QMU in your manifesto, and that you'd like to advertise for the bars and cafe in there. So I wanted to know if they're currently running at a loss, and if you think the cost of advertising will really make the difference and the returns that you need as a union.
I think the bars and Cafe 22 right now, to my knowledge, do make a profit. Cafe 22 is our most profitable part of the union, to my knowledge. I think advertising does cost a lot, but I think that's because at this moment we over-advertise. Like as CCSR, all the poster output and such, getting PR out around campus falls under me and my CSRs. And I personally think that we order too much, so I think we can cut that down in order that we can cut cost of advertising. In regards to actually helping us as a business, yes, I think it does. We'll also use social media as an outlet as well, because it's probably what most people use today. But as an actual as far as physical PR goes, it's something that you need to have, I think, as a business.
So when you say it in your manifesto, do you intend that you just mean to focus it and cut down on it, or that you increase it? Because that seems to be a bit ambiguous there between what you just said and what's in your manifesto.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
So would you intend to increase your advertising, like it seems to suggest in your manifesto, or would you maybe focus it and decrease it, like you seem to have just suggested there?
I would decrease the amount of physical PR we order, because we order too much and too much gets left over. But in terms of actual advertising, I would increase the amount we already do.
Okay.
So I would make sure that our CSRs as well, and anyone that wants to volunteer for the building, can get PR out and it is easy to get to. Because at this moment in time, it is kept in an office that is often locked, so it's hard for people to get to it and it's hard for people to do when they have the time.
Okay. You also say that you'll better coordinate with staff in the union through regular meetings. Is this not currently the case, and if so, why not?
This is currently the case on an informal basis, which is what I'd like to keep. I think it's far easier to interact with members of staff if you're coming to them as a friend and interacting on an informal chat basis, rather than acting as in a manner of authority. It does regularly happen. Priya's been very good at that, but it's something I would definitely want to keep up. And definitely make sure we do with every member of staff, not just heads of departments, because a lot of our members of staff have very good ideas.
Okay, so that's mostly just maintaining the work of your predecessor.
Maintaining the work of my predecessor and making sure that does not slip at all.
Okay, so you didn't list any targets or specific objectives that you want to achieve for the year. This seems a bit odd, because arguably it makes it impossible for you to fail. You can't fall short if you don't have any objectives, so how come you didn't include any? Do you have any?
I think it's unrealistic to set objectives, perhaps, without having been on the role of perhaps just exec or even president in general, because there's a lot of information you simply cannot know if you're not on the exec or the president themselves, such as things like finance and such.
So would you say that comes from a lack of experience then, that you wouldn't be able to set those objectives?
Not necessarily. I would just say that it's unrealistic to try and set objectives that I can't know too much about.
Okay. So the QMU is well known has been struggling for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
Do you not feel that the incremental changes that have been going forward have failed, and that really there needs to be a more radical change in order to change the attitudes of students towards the QMU?
I think that the failings of the union is that we consistently keep doing the same thing and failing at it. Is that we haven't really looked at alternative ways of doing it. For example, like our weekly club night idea that comes back almost every single year and loses us money. We just need to stop doing that entirely. It just doesn't work, and we need to stop. So events like that just have consistently failed, we will just simply cut and not do anymore. I'm not willing to try things that have shown over the past few years to have no impact or good for us.
Okay. And finally, the QMU is hosting Kamasi, Washington, and the tickets are £25 excluding a booking fee, and he's playing on May the 5th, which is right in the middle of the exam session. Is this not kind of indicative of what the QMU is doing wrong at the moment?
I think that is definitely something I'd have to discuss with the event manager. I was not aware that this event had been booked, but I think external events are very much set to their time schedule, not ours. So it's when they want to run the event. So if that's when they want to run it, we can't necessarily just say no, because that would not look good for us and other people that want to use us externally.
Okay. Cheers.